presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Southwest.
Winning teams have leaders that create a culture. The Rangers have taken on the intense, never-say-quit spirit of manager Jeff Bannister. Veterans like Adrian Beltre demonstrate leadership every time that they take the field. Your Rangers have found a nice early blend of aggressive play, team chemistry, and fun together. They take the show on the road, starting in Oakland tonight. Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T High-Speed Internet. Well, a gorgeous night out here in the East Bay, Oakland, California, as the Rangers take their show on the road. Tonight, it's the first of three against the Oakland Athletics. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Grieve, Steve Busby. Delighted you could join us for this evening of Ranger baseball as they get going on a road trip, a two-city swing. First of three tonight coming up from Oakland. The Rangers, by now you understand everything that happened yesterday. There's been too much talk about it anyway, but the Rangers hope one thing, that's they're not without Rougned Odor for very long, because he's a key piece of that club.
Well, he really is, Buzz. You know, the Rangers are a first-place team right now, and if you look for the reasons for that, there's a lot of them, but certainly Rougned is a big part of that. Over the last 6 road games, he's played incredibly well, hitting almost 380, 11 for 29. And, you know, you mentioned what happened yesterday. Things happen in the heat of battle. You look at it after it's all over and done with. You wish it didn't happen. Hopefully, we're not going to lose Rougned for too long, if at all. But if we do, he's going to be sorely missed for sure.
There's no doubt about that. The Rangers will have to deal with that in the eventuality that it comes down. Tonight, though, they're going to send Derek Holland out to the mound to see if he can get things back in order. It'll be Holland and the Rangers taking on the A's. We're back with the starting lineup. And the first pitch right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.
I'm trying to count on.
Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Buy AT&T high-speed internet. Get a deal worth talking about. Get high-speed internet from AT&T. And by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. You know, a crystal clear evening here in the East Bay, Oakland, California. Oakland Bay Bridge, the new and old. The old one getting knocked down and the new one supporting all the traffic going east to west, west to east. And Tom's going to tell you right now about the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers lineup.
Well, Rugi's going to lead off. Obviously, he's going to play second base. Elvis Andrus moves up to the second spot in the order. Nomar Mazara bats third. Adrian Beltre, partial day off. He's going to DH tonight in the cleanup spot. Ian Desmond is in center field. Ryan Rua bats sixth. He'll play first base tonight. Drew Stubbs, after a game-winning homer, he'll play left field and bat seventh. Bobby Wilson is catching, and Hanser Alberto gets the start at third base tonight.
And that's Jeff Bannister's lineup to face this 24-year-old left-hander, Sean Manaea. Manaea has a very good arm. Came over from the Kansas City organization last July in the trade that sent Ben Zobrist to Kansas City. Little trouble with location and not necessarily walks, just location within the strike zone. And that's what's been making it difficult for him. Rangers will try to be a little bit patient, see if he can make him throw some strikes and maybe hit some of the mistakes that he's been prone to make. This is his fourth big league start, and he gave up 8 runs in 2 2/3 innings last time out against the red-hot hitting Boston Red Sox. So Rangers hope to follow that script here tonight against Manaea. And the Oakland defense this evening behind the young left-hander, Coco Crisp in left, Billy Burns in center, and Josh Reddick in right. Billy Butler gets the start at first base. Tyler Leydendorf, Marcus Semien up the middle, Danny Valencia at third base, and Matt McBride is behind the plate. Well, the Rangers under Jeff Bannister coming in first place in the AL West, the first time since back on the 2nd of May. They are leading the Seattle Mariners by a half game at 22-16. First time this year that the ball club has been 6 games over that 500 mark. So a lot of good things going on right now with the Rangers as they start this road trip. And Rougned Odor will step in. Odor batting at .286. 1 ball and no strikes.
First pitch.
Rougned 7 home runs. That still tops on the ball club. 21 RBI. Manaea is 6'5" left-hander. And Odor skies one to pretty deep right center field. Going back is Burns on the middle of the track and makes the catch. And boy, Rougned, that ball jumped off his bat.
That ball went a lot farther than I thought it was going to go. I thought he popped it up to center field and went about 380 feet to right center field. Got a little bit more of that than it looked like.
Well, it is a relatively warm night here in Oakland. The sun still has about half an hour of light left, and without the normal humidity, hasn't set in yet. The ball carries pretty well in this ballpark. One away, here's Elvis Andrus, a .288 hitter. Elvis, 14 RBI, and starting to string together some base hits. Went through a little streak of about 2 weeks where things weren't falling in place, and now he's gotten that turned around, and with the left-hander on the mound, Jeff Bannister's used the opportunity to get Elvis up higher in the lineup tonight. Low and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. This is the first of 3 straight left-handers that the Rangers will face in this series. And oddly enough, Rangers have 3 straight left-handers going against Oakland. It's a complete battle of southpaws in this 3-game series. Good changeup from Manaea. It's 1-2. That's probably his best off-speed pitch to right-handers. He won't try and throw that slider quite as much, but that changeup can be effective, especially the first couple of times you see it. Big Cy goes back to the plate. Popped up. Right field, Reddick shielding his eyes from the sun with his glove. That is out number 2. Well, a couple of fly balls, and now Nomar Mazara will come up.
In the third position, right fielder,
Well, the Rangers come into play tonight, third in the American League with a .260 team batting average. They have been doing yeoman work offensively. Despite that little downturn they had in Chicago a few weeks ago, where they only scored 4 runs in a 3-game series. For the most part, they have really been pumping out the runs. And, of course, Mazara, a big part of that. Club still second in the American League with 179 runs scored. They're trailing the Boston Red Sox, as is everybody else. A fisted ground ball out to Semien. Double clutch throws, got him. Semien able to come up and re-grip the ball. Now Jeff Bannister saying, well, hang on here a second. Might want to take a look at that upstairs and see if there is any reason to challenge that here in the first inning. Bobby Jones and Adam Brenner up there going to take a look at all the replays.
Like Semien had a little bit of a problem getting the ball out of his glove, which made it a very close play.
And I think from that angle especially, you can see the Rangers will not affect the challenge. So no challenge involved. 3 up, 3 down. Rangers gone on the top of the first after a half inning. No score. And he is trying to get the ship righted. He's had a couple of rocky outings, and the left-hander will take on an Oakland lineup that also has had things go against them a bit here in the early going. Coco Crisp leading things off, and the switch-hitting outfielder takes strike 1. Crisp at .242 for the year. 3 home runs, 12 driven in. Goes after the next pitch and pops it up on the infield. Rougned Odor near the bag. Handles that for out number 1. And Tom's going to tell you about the rest of the Oakland lineup.
Well, you saw Coco Crisp. He popped out to second base. Billy Burns is batting second, the center fielder. Josh Reddick has been hot, has his average up to .316. He'll hit third. Danny Valencia, fresh off of 5 home runs this weekend in Tampa Bay, bats fourth. Chris Davis is the DH. Billy Butler is playing first base. Marcus Semien bats seventh, the shortstop. Matt McBride is behind the plate, and the second baseman batting ninth is Tyler Ladendorf.
And Derek Holland pumps in a belt-high strike on the inside corner to Billy Burns. Burns also a switch hitter, a .273 overall average, .286 from the right side of the plate. Well, excuse me, check swing foul, and it is 0-2. Derek Holland this season got off to a very good start. It was 3-1 at one point. ERA down in the upper 2s, and all of a sudden the last couple of times out, he has run into some problems. He has not made it out of the third inning in either of those starts, allowing a total of 16 runs, less than 5 innings of work. And for Derek, he said it's just a matter of execution. just has not made pitches when he needed to, right in the right spot. Almost got that call, but Burns backing away. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Rangers, if they are to get into the playoffs this year and go deep in the playoffs, they have to have a productive Derek Holland. He is a key component of this staff. Hanser Alberto across the diamond. That is out number 2 as Burns is thrown out. Now we'll take a look at the Ranger defense tonight, delivered to you by DeMontron RV. Outfield, Drew Stubbs getting the start in left field. Ian Desmond in center, Nomar Mazara in right. Ryan Rua at first base. Odor and Andrews up the middle. You saw Alberto at third, and Bobby Wilson behind the plate for Derek Holland. A 2 up, 2 away. Here's Josh Reddick, a .500 hitter over his last several ball games.
Well, one thing you like about the start of the game is Derek's thrown 8 pitches and 7 of them have been strikes. And by the looks of the pitches, they're not just strikes for the sake of throwing strikes. They're quality strikes so far.
And that an important difference.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen what throwing strikes does for different pitchers at different times.
Yeah.
If they're right down the middle of the plate, it doesn't do a whole lot.
It gets you out of the ball game relatively fast. Just off the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Riddick mentioned a .500 average. That covers the last 10 ball games. He's gone 17 for 34. Reddick with 5 multi-hit games in there. 2-2 now. Oakland coming into this ball game 9th in the American League with a .246 average. They are next to last with a .297 on base percentage. For Bob Melvin's club, that very atypical of an A team. And they are next to last in number of walks received, and that also is not like Oakland. Normally they batting average in the middle of the pack toward the bottom of the pack, but on base percentage always near the top. 3 hopper out to Odor. On to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Derek Holland. So the Rangers and Athletics both sent down in order. We've finished 1 from the Coliseum. Rangers nothing, A's nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. No base runners through the first inning, and Adrian Beltre starting things off here in the Rangers' second. Beltre getting a partial day off tonight. He's handling the DH chores. And Jeff Bannister said before the ball game, don't read anything into it with Prince Fielder getting the day off. Prince is getting his second day out of the lineup this year. He said it was a pretty good time to do it after a travel day, and with a left-hander, a young left-hander on the mound. Prince, good time to get off his feet for a game and let him do some extra work. Although the amount of work that he does anyway is pretty significant, so I'm not sure how much extra he would be able to fit in there. A ball and a strike to Adrian. Now 2-1. Beltre, as you know, the 275 season average. Half a dozen home runs, 26 RBI. That's the most on the ball club. Manaea back to him. 2-2.
So far, 4 hitters into the game. Manaea is not exactly throwing like a guy who's given up 21 hits in 12 innings.
Yeah.
He's throwing pretty good so far.
Foul back. Pretty good fastball. Low to mid 90s for Manaea. The scouting report said, considering where he throws from, his arm angle, has pretty good movement toward his arm side. In other words, away from a right-handed hitter into a left-handed hitter. Makes that slider a little more deceptive, especially for left-handers. Left that one outside, and the count goes full. So Beltre trying to become the first base runner tonight, trying to lead off the second inning ahead of Ian Desmond. Manaea reading the signs, now to the wind. A couple more foul balls, and virtually everybody in the stadium have a souvenir. Small crowd. We have to say, though, that the Golden State Warriors are playing right next door right now. The first game of the Western Conference Finals, taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder.
And we've always said about coming to Oakland and the fans that they have here. Whoops, fanned on that one. There's a lot of games where there's not a lot of them here, but they're great. The ones that come are great fans. Yep. They're loyal A's fans. They cheer loud. They root for the home team.
Fortunately, that was up over his head. It wasn't right at him.
He needed a longer glove. And the ones that here support the team and cheer should be applauded.
Beltre, a high fly ball hit to pretty deep left field. Pushes Coco Crisp back, but Crisp with room makes the grab for out number 1. Folks, a quick reminder that May 24th, your next chance to take advantage of $10 Tuesdays. Tickets for the Angels-Rangers game that night are just $10, and you can add on a $10 meal deal when purchasing online. Plus, all fans on Tuesdays receive just $10 parking. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials to secure your $10 Tuesday tickets for May 24th. Here's Ian Desmond, the hero of yesterday's ball game. And first ball swinging, it's popped up on the infield. Leidendorf, the second baseman, backpedaling a bit. 2 gone. For Manaea now, all 4 of the 5 outs that he has recorded have been in the air. 3 fly balls and a pop out.
You know, it's nice to see a game where someone hits a pop up and the batter that hit it ends up about 10 feet past first base when the infielder catches the little blooper. We just got done watching a team that had runners that wouldn't even get to first base on ground balls to the infield. So when you see a team like the Rangers running out ground balls and running out pop-ups that are routine, it's kind of refreshing to watch that.
Brian Rua drives one deep to left center field, way back off the top of the wall. Rua cruising into second with a ripped double. It was off the top of the shorter wall. That's right where it drops down from 16 or 15 feet down to 8 feet in that outfield. And Rua, maybe for the spot of 4 or 5 feet horizontally, came up with a double instead of a home run.
Yeah, it looked like Ryan hit the ball well, but didn't get all of it. Hit it a little bit toward the end of the bat. It went 380 feet, so he had to hit it fairly well. But we saw the ball he hit up on Greens Hill in Texas. It went about 430 feet, so there's more in the tank than that if you hit it off the good part of the bat.
And I think the only reason that ball came down on Greens Hill is because of the incline. It was going up. The ball wasn't coming down. The ground went up to meet it. First pitch to Drew Stubbs, in for strike 1. Stubbs a walk-off home run on Saturday night. First walk-off home run that Drew has had. Overall, the season numbers with Atlanta and with the Rangers. Pretty good rip there, and he finds himself now down to the count, 0-2. Drew in a Rangers uniform hitting .429. That walk-off home run, a solo blast. And he's got Ryan Rua out there at second base. Rangers still the best hitting ball club in the major leagues with runners in scoring position. Hitting at .310 coming into play tonight. 1-2. There are the numbers we were talking about. How about 359 in the last 5 ball games? And then on that homestand, it just went crazy. 1-2 pitch. We'll try it again. Drew, of course, a great collegiate player, an outfielder down at University of Texas in Austin. He's traveled around a bit. Contact has been his downfall at the big league level, as far as staying at the big leagues a lot. But he's had a significant contribution when he's been able to get in there. Now 2-2. Great athlete. Stubbs can play all the outfield positions. A very, very fleet-footed center fielder for most of the time. Rangers haven't played out left tonight with Ian Desmond taking over in center. Off the plate inside, the count has gone full. So Stubbs working the count from 0-2 to 3-2. He's trying to get aboard to join Rua. Bobby Wilson, Ranger catcher, in that on-deck circle. Matt McBride flashing the signs out. Manaea picks one out. Payoff pitch on the way. Got him swinging. Threw a changeup on 3-2 and fooled Stubbs. That'll do it. No runs a hit, 1 left after 1.5 in Oakland. Rangers nothing, A's nothing. On Fox Sports Southwest, it's brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Visit your local Texas Ford dealer today for incredible deals and see why Ford is the best in Texas. Now, Danny Valencia on a hot streak that he has never had before at the major league level. He has 5 home runs in the last 3 games, coming in the span of 2 games. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, he had a 2 home run game on Friday night against Tampa Bay. And then yesterday, knocked 3 out of the ballpark. First time he'd ever hit 3 home runs in a ball game. First time he'd ever had 5 home runs in a 3-game series. Derek Holland, very well aware of Valencia's propensity for hitting the fastball a long way. 2 balls and a strike. And a good fastball to the inside corner, well located by Holland. It's 2-2. Well, Valencia, a .342 average, 10-game hitting streak, gone .405 over those 10 games. Gets jammed in a little pop-up, just barely made it out to Ryan Rua at first.
There's one fastball didn't go very far.
A little tough to hit it when it's about 3 inches above your fist.
Yeah, actually, based on where it hit the bat, it did go pretty far.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. That would hurt a lot more about an hour and a half from now when it gets cooler. So a nice job working over Valencia by Derek Holland. 4 up, 4 down for the left-hander. Here's Chris Davis handling the DH chores tonight. Davis second on the A's club with 8 home runs. He has driven in 21 as he looks to strike 1. .217 average. Davis spent the last several years with the Milwaukee Brewers. A lot of foul territory. Mazzara and Rua. Mazzara, as that ball comes back a bit, still in foul territory, but Mazzara staying with it to make the catch for the second out. And when we're talking about Derek Holland, how about our Kubota power stats for tonight about the left-hander? Against the AL West this year, he's 3-0 with a 1.99 ERA. Opponents hitting less than 200 against him. 5 walks, 15 strikeouts. Rangers have played Seattle, they have played the Angels, and they have played the Astros. This is the last team in the AL West that the Rangers had yet to face, and they are now taking on these Oakland Athletics. Billy Butler getting the start at first base tonight, and he gets fisted.
Boy, Derek keeps locating his fastball like that. He's going to have a good game.
Odor and Andrus, it's Elvis Andrus making the catch. That'll do it. 6 up, 6 down for Derek Holland and the Rangers. On to the third. We are scoreless in Oakland. New season ticket plan. It's the Pyromaniacs Perfect Season Ticket Gift. It's Friday night fireworks 9-game plan, and it guarantees you tickets to Friday night, 9 of them, plus the post-game fireworks show that night. And you get a 10th game automatically free in that pack. The package includes exclusive postseason resale opportunity and the ability to exchange 1 game in your plan for a Sunday through Thursday non-premier game. To secure your Pyro pack, just call 972-RANGERS or visit TexasRangers.com/fireworks. And while I was telling you about that, you also saw Bobby Wilson ground out to third. 1 gone. Here's Hanser Alberto. Hanser getting the start at third. This is his first start this year at third base. He started at the other 3 infield positions, but this is his first start at the hot corner. First game that Adrian Beltre has not started there this year. 174 average for Alberto. A couple of RBI. There's that changeup floating in at the knees.
Well, I had a message that there's a lot of fans here from Round Rock tonight, and the ones that are here would like to wish Cheryl a happy birthday. I wish I had more information, but that's the only information I have. So Cheryl, if you have friends from Round Rock and it's your birthday today, happy birthday. Hope you're watching. Or maybe you're here, I'm not sure.
Well, all you can do is deliver the information you got.
That's all I've got. Sorry about that.
Manaya with the 1-2 pitch. And Alberto pops it up. Lots of foul territory. Billy Butler over near the track and makes the catch. Wow. A lot of foul territory to cover, and Billy Butler got there. 2 outs before we go tell you about Rougned Odor. Let's send it back to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break.
Now batting, number 12, Rougned Odor.
Yeah, you can.
You just did.
Could have said they knocked out the
I think they'd
Blue
prefer.
Jays.
I think they'd prefer to get beat 13-2 than what happened yesterday.
Yeah, they kind of had it handed to him twice, didn't they? And speaking of that, here's Rougned Odor. Rougned a fly ball to pretty deep right center field his first time. 1 ball and 1 strike. And we are not making light of what happened yesterday. It just, you know, it's not a good thing for baseball all the way around. It happens, and you just have to deal with it and move on. 1-2. Odor 1 for 4 in yesterday's ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rougned a little bit of a downturn, and he has now become the leadoff man of choice for Jeff Bannister. But Odor lately just 2 for his last 19 times to the plate. He has enjoyed, as you can see, hitting here in the Coliseum. A .320 career average in this ballpark. Got him on the fist, a little pop-up. And that's going to fall untouched.
Just wasn't high enough. No one could get to it.
Well, Manaya had the best chance at it, and he just stopped. I think he heard the catcher McBride calling it, and there's no way McBride was going to get there.
Didn't look like it. Yeah, that would have been a simple play for Manaya.
Yeah.
But
son, they give you a glove, go ahead and use it. It's not illegal.
he might not have been able to get to it before the catcher knocked him a little bit out of the way.
Yeah, the left-hander ready for another 2-2 pitch.
Lay off that pitch.
Odor able to check his swing, and the count has gone full. So Rougned trying to get aboard. Elvis Andrus, the number 2 hitter in the Ranger order, in that on-deck circle. Only hit of the ball game, a Ryan Rua 2-out double in the second. Broken back ground ball. Ledendorf slides, comes up, and throws out Rougned. Nice play by Tyler Ledendorf, the second baseman. 3 up, 3 down. Rangers out in order after 2.5. No score. May 27th from 8 until 9:30 in the morning at the Hall of Fame Club at Globe Life Park for a Positive Coaching Alliance's Coffee with the Coaches. Have your questions answered by Jeff Bannister, an Olympic gold medal softball player, Kat Osterman. The Positive Coaching Alliance helps better athletes, better people for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, student athletes, and organizational leaders. Visit north-texas.positivecoach.org for more information.
Well, Derek starts McBride off with 2 strikes, a curveball and a changeup. Pounds him in with a fastball.
Marcus Semien, hitter.
Sorry.
That's all right. Semien, the team leader with 9 home runs. Slowly hit by the mound. Elvis, nice pickup, got him. Good play by Elvis. He had to change direction as he was going after that ground ball. It wasn't hitting nearly as hard as he thought. Plus, it hit the mound and slowed it down. Nice play by the Ranger shortstop.
Not much in the way of a hard hit ball hit off Derek in this game yet. Only been 7 hitters, but they've either hit it off the end of the bat and hit a couple off the handle as well.
Well, 1 up, 1 away here in the 3rd inning. Here is Matt McBride, the catcher.
I just realized why I said that was Matt McBride hitting. I wrote the 5-3 that Bobby Wilson hit on the wrong side under Marcus Semien's name.
Oh, well, you just need to change it by 1 player. First day of the road trip after a 3-hour flight. That's difficult.
I just got to accept responsibility for my actions, though. I don't like excuses. I chalk it up just lack of ability.
That's admirable honesty.
Yeah, thanks.
Like that.
Saw enough complaining over the last 3 days to do it
Kind of had a feeling that's where you were going.
I just can't get that off my mind.
Well, your appearance today on various talk shows, you had a chance to explore other people's feelings about it too.
And the Mad Dog was going after it, boy. He didn't take the Rangers side very well.
2 hopper out to Elvis, and it's dropped by Ryan Rua, and safely aboard is Matt McBride. Rua with the backhand, it wasn't in the dirt. He just backhanded it. The ball popped out of his glove.
Batting in the 9th position, second baseman, number 25, Tyler Ladendorf.
I think it might have been a real short hop. That's going to be ruled an error on Ryan Rua. So 1 on, 1 out, Tyler Ladendorf, the second baseman. 0 for 6 in this go-around with the A's. Called up last Tuesday, joined the ball club. A's have had bad injury luck this year so far. They got 10 guys on the disabled list, including Eric Sogard, their normal second baseman, who is on the 60-day DL. They've had to mix and match, and even with the 10 people on the disabled list, they've got a few guys banged up at the big league club that are still active. Stephen Vogt hasn't been able to catch very much. Chopper to Elvis, to second, back to first, in time. They got the double play.
Didn't think they'd be able to turn it. Didn't look like it was hit hard enough.
Glenn Killing, number 55 for the Rangers, the most in baseball. Nothing happening after 3, no score. Wednesday afternoon, May 25th. Rangers take on the Angels. It's a 1:05 first pitch. Take your lunch break. Come on out to the park. Enjoy all the dollar hot dogs you can eat, courtesy of Texas Chili Company. Visit TexasRangers.com for tickets, or you can call 972-RANGERS if you prefer. Well, the Rangers coming to bat here in the top of the 4th inning. Bundled up crowd. Not cool, but seasonable night out here in the Oakland Coliseum. It's no longer called the Odotco Coliseum. It's the Oakland Coliseum, or the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Hot shot off of Valencia. Karam's out to short, but Elvis is going to be aboard. That was a rocket.
That thing got to third base in a hurry, and I'm sure Valencia would agree with that. That's why they call it the hot corner. He's playing about even with the bag. Left-hand pitcher against the right-hand hitter. A lot of times right-hand hitters will hit some shots down the third base line. Boy, that took a short hop too. He didn't. If it was in the air, he might have had a better chance. Would have had a better chance, but boy, with that short hop, that's, you put your glove down, hope you get lucky, hope it sticks in the glove.
So Rangers have their leadoff man aboard. Second hit of the night. Here's Nomar Mazara, and he takes low and outside for ball 1. Mazara grounded out to short back in the first inning. Nomar now a .311 average, 4 home runs, a dozen driven in. American League Rookie of the Month for April. Putting together some impressive numbers. 1-1.
Minaya didn't pitch much in the minor leagues. He had 18 innings this year and 196 innings coming into this season, so a little over 200 innings. He was a highly touted college pitcher, high draft choice. Kansas City traded him to Oakland. Oakland, I'm sure, counts on him to be a big part of their future in their rotation.
1-2 now. Nice play by Hector Ortiz, Ranger first base coach.
It's kind of the way the A's are forced to do business. They trade veteran players. They try to get younger players that they can control for a while when they've had them and their salaries get up there. Sonny Gray may be in that position.
Yeah.
Then they end up having to trade them for young players. Ben Zobrist went to Kansas City, and that was a good trade for Kansas City. Kansas City won the World Series. Zobrist was a big part of it. And maybe Minaya be a big part of the A's future. Speaking of Zobrist, what a year he's having. Signed it as a free agent with the Cubs. He's on the verge of having his best season ever.
Yeah, and that was one of the signings that people had questioning the Cubs after that. Said, what do you want Zobrist for? All he does is play on winning teams. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Left center field. Crisp to his left. Makes the grab. Elvis back to first. That is out number 1. As Mazara lines out. Now Adrian Beltre. The Rangers starting to make a little bit of contact against the left-hander. At least the first 2 hitters in this inning have hit the ball sharply.
Talking about Zobrist, he's in the top 10 in RBIs, 3rd in runs, .441 on base percentage. And the thing that always makes him even more valuable than the offensive numbers are of the number of positions he can play. You can play him at 3rd, play him at 2nd, play him in the outfield if you want to. Basically, you're going to play him every day and let him know what position he's playing when he gets to the ballpark. You can give almost 4 or 5 different guys in the team a rest if you wanted to do that. And as you said, Buzz, he appears to be a winner.
1 ball, no strikes to Adrian. Time called. Well, I go back to the time Zobrist had down at Tampa Bay, and he played on some teams down there that were picked to finish, 6th in a 5-team race. It was one of those deals, and every year they would be given whoever was at the top. If they didn't win, they would be giving the top team a real tough time.
Yeah.
And Zobrist a big part of that.
Yeah, it's probably not a coincidence that he played for Joe Madden in Tampa.
Right.
And signed with the Cubs, where Joe Madden is now the manager.
Yep.
Whatever selling Theo Epstein needed, if any, I'm sure Joe Madden did it.
Beltre takes that off-speed pitch for a strike. It's 2-1. Adrian, a fly ball to the left, his first time to the plate. Adrian just completed homestand. The 7 ball games, hit .273 with 5 RBI in the 7 games. Takes that one for ball 3. So now Beltre in a hitter's count at 3-1. Elvis at first with 1 out. Ian Desmond will follow Adrian Beltre. Scoreless ball game. Rangers with the only 2 hits in this contest. Trying to put a couple together in this inning, see if they can't get on the board in the run column. And that's the first time, obviously, with only 2 base runners. That's the first time we've seen Minaya make any kind of a move. And I'm sure Elvis was standing over there with a big left-hander. Sometimes they can hang that front leg up there and for seemingly days. And so Elvis has seen one of the moves. That probably wasn't his best one. Beltre, drive to right, but it's going to settle into the glove of Josh Reddick for out number 2. And staying at first, Elvis Andrus. Ian Desmond is coming up. Well, our time for the TXU Energy Power Player to watch tonight, and that would be the man in your screen coming up to home plate. Ian Desmond, in the last 10 ball games, has hit just .357. 2 home runs. He has driven in 11 in those 10 games. 6 for 9 when people are in scoring position. And he's had 6 multi-hit games out of the 10. That's a pretty good week and a half worth of work. And oh, by the way, one of the game-running home run yesterday, a 3-run bolt. Nothing in 1.
Boy, he had 4 swings in that at bat. 3 fastballs, a little bit above the belt. Had great swings and just barely fouled them off. Didn't really connect, and then a hanging slider in the same location, and that was all she wrote.
Pretty good rip at that Minaya fastball, but fouled it back. It's 0-2. I guess Chavez got to be feeling pretty comfortable about throwing it there, not getting it hit. Just picked the wrong one to do with that curveball. Where that slider wasn't the same as the fastball.
Yeah, when Ian was a free agent this winter and he was unsigned, I was somewhere with Jeff Bannister, and Bannister was talking about Desmond, what a terrific player he was, you know, how much he liked him in the National League. And then the other day he said, he's even better than I thought he was. Yeah. Well, he really liked him to begin with. So that's a pretty nice compliment right there for Desmond.
Yeah, when you have the coaches and staff on other teams commenting about your ability, you know it's been pretty carefully considered because you're trying to stop that guy when he's on another team. So you have to look at all facets pretty realistically.
I guess the thing that's hard to gauge, you might hear about it, is the kind of person he is, the kind of teammate he is, the way he plays the game, all those things. You get to see it up close and personal when he's playing for your ball club. I'm sure a lot of those things that don't go into batting average and RBIs play a big part in the way Jeff feels about it.
Sure. Got him swinging.
The fastball.
Minaya with his second strikeout. Rangers get a leadoff single, but strand a runner. 3.5 in the books in Oakland. No score. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by Mazda. In every car we make, you'll see why driving matters. The Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Derek Holland going to work here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Coco Crisp going after the first pitch. Will sky out to Ian Desmond, shy of the warning track, and the ball's starting to be knocked down a little bit by the slightly heavier air as the sun is setting in the west.
That's the 10th batter that Derek has faced. He's thrown first pitch strikes to 9 of them. It's something that he's struggled with. He's thrown a lot of pitches, been behind in the count, a lot of 3-ball counts. But today he's had quality stuff through 10 hitters, and he's thrown strikes on the first pitch to 9 of them.
Here's Billy Burns, who grounded out to third his first time up there.
Make it one more. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 11. They haven't all been fastballs either. There's been a few curveballs mixed in there for first strikes as well.
Yeah.
It's not like you can go up there and go, okay, first pitch, he's just laying it in there. I'm teeing off on him. Hasn't been that way so far.
Yeah, quality pitches and a couple of different pitches at quality spots.
Yeah.
And a strike right on the inside corner. Our steel pitch tracker showing you that inside corner being dissected by Derek Holland. And pitching like this makes your pitching coach, Doug Brocail, look good on his birthday. Celebrating the birthday along with Ranger radio broadcaster Eric Nadell. There's a hit by pitch. Again, trying to come inside, and Holland just jerked it across the batter's box and got Burns on a 1-2 pitch. So the runner aboard here with 1 out in the 4th.
And Burns is a good base runner, good base stealer. He's got good speed. 9 of 11 stealing bases this year. Among the top base stealers early in the season in the American League.
Oh, here's Josh Reddick, who grounded out to second, his first time up. 0-1. Reddick now a .313 average. As we mentioned, he has been on fire. Reddick in the month of May. And the month of May for Derek Holland has not been kind, but it has been kind to Josh Reddick. He has hit .422 in 13 games this month. At a .490 on base percentage. About the only Oakland hitter that really has been consistently hot during the month. Oakland's had a devil of a time in the month of May. One ball and 1 strike to Reddick. Holland, a check of Burns at first. And he gets that outside corner. 1-2. So Derek, who has always been tough against left-handed hitters, and he's facing a guy who's had his problems against left-handers, and Josh Reddick. Reddick only a .185 average against left-handed pitching, but against right-handers he's been tearing them apart. Nice stop by Bobby Wilson to keep Burns at first, and that evens the count at 2-2.
We talked about the offense in the pregame show that the catchers had provided. They've been all around good players. They've caught well, worked with the pitchers well, and they've thrown well too.
Little looper out in the shallow right center, going out Odor. He can't get there. Burns will advance to second as that looper falls in, and Reddick has the first hit of the night for the Oakland A's. A 1-out single here in the 4th inning, and the A's have runners at first and second for Danny Valencia.
That was a good pitch. That's another one. Didn't look like it was going to carry that far. It looked like he jammed him well enough to where it'd be a little blooper to second. Well, it was a little blooper, but it went a little farther than second, and no one could get to it.
Yeah, just the 2 or 3 steps that the middle infielders come in for double play depth going to cost Rubden an opportunity to catch that pop-up. You saw Reddick, what he thought of that blast.
He thought he was out. He thought it was going to be an out, too.
So 2 aboard now. Here's Valencia, who hit a very short pop fly to Ryan Rua at first in the 2nd inning. He had seen a couple of curveballs to start off that first at bat, and Holland threw a fastball pretty much in the middle of the plate for strike 1.
Kind of the guessing game between the hitter and the pitcher. Mix them up, keep them off balance.
Out of play, no balls and 2 strikes.
Instead of 2 slow curveballs, he got 2 fastballs. You could tell he was not ready for him with the swing that he put on that last pitch.
He has been good all around, but especially against left-handers this year. Valencia hitting .389, as you can see. 3 of his 5 home runs against left-handers.
4th time Derek's had an 0-2 count in the ball game.
Holland still looking for his first strikeout tonight. 1-2 with Burns at second, Reddick at first. Gore trying to sneak in behind Billy Burns. Holland intently staring in for the signs. Bobby Wilson flashing them out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Valencia has moved around in his career. 6 different organizations, 6 different teams. And seems to have found a home here in Oakland. Up and in, and a foul tip, I guess, off the bat. Valencia kind of leaning out over the plate a little bit. Couldn't get out of the way of the inside fastball. Just tipped off that bat. So still an even count at 2-2. Hit deep but pulled foul down the left side. You got to be careful. A guy is swinging the bat the way that Valencia is. He's in a hot streak, and leaving the ball out over the plate is not a good idea. This is the one of 2 guys in the lineup. He and Josh Reddick swinging the bats pretty well. Work around those 2. Nobody else in the lineup seems to be hot at the moment. Steal pitch tracking showing you pitch number 7 up there right at the top of the strike zone. Valencia came over to Oakland last year on a waiver claim. He was with Toronto at the time. Oakland claimed him August the 3rd off of waivers. Well, full count. Well, Derek, after being ahead, no balls, 2 strikes, has run the count full to Valencia. 2 on with 1 out. Valencia batting 4th. Chris Davis, the designated hitter, is next. Payoff pitch. Inside, ball 4, and that loads him up. First walk of the night given by Holland. And Doug Rocaille going to trot out there and have a chat with his left-hander.
That's one of those games where Derek was cruising. Ball got away from him, hit by pitch, a little blooper, pitching carefully to a guy that's hit 5 home runs in the last 3 days. Now you got the bases loaded and 1 out. You got to make sure that you don't let this get away from you right here. Rangers will turn the double play if you give them a chance.
And one thing I think Derek Haas now has to keep in mind is the Oakland A's, for the most part now, are a bunch of free swingers, and they're not looking for walks. They're looking to swing the bat. Chris Davis most notably right now. Going outside for ball 1. Davis, a foul fly to right field, his first time.
Davis has been up 138 times. He struck out 36 times. He only walked 3 times. So you're right, Buzz. He's probably going to be swinging in this at bat.
Holland's 1-0 pitch. That evens things up. Davis last year with Milwaukee had a career high 27 home runs. Drove in 66, played 120 games for the Brewers. 1 ball and 2 strikes now as Holland gets ahead of the count.
Good position for that fastball, sinking fastball right down at the knees. You're trying to get a ground ball, get a double play right here. Made a good pitch down and away like that. A great spot for another one. Get him to roll over it and hit a ground ball to shortstop.
Full foul. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Holland working to a guy now who is in an 0 for 13 streak. Derek, as we mentioned, does not have a strikeout. This is a guy you'd like to bury in this spot. Bases loaded and 1 out. Another foul ball by Davis. Holland backing off the pitching rubber, wants to recycle the signs. Bobby Wilson having trouble thinking along the same lines for this next pitch. Now the left-hander's ready. Hard hit, foul ball.
Oh.
Hanser Alberto was sure of it once he saw the foul sign put up.
They're through 33 pitches in the first 3 innings, 26 pitches so far in this inning. Well, the third base umpire is Hunter Wendelstedt. He is right on top of that.
Yep.
Glad we didn't have to call it from up here. That was close. There's the pitch count. 25 so far this inning. Oh, good changeup.
Yes,
almost had him. He just barely ticked that. He got the desired result. A weak swing, fooled by the pitch. Well located, he just hit it, ticked it right off the end of the bat.
Still 1-2. Holland still working from the stretch. 2-2. Steel pitch tracker showing you Holland has gone inside, outside, nothing in the middle, which certainly is a good thing. But now's the pitch you want to make something happen on. Don't want to go to 3-2. Left-hander ready. Fly ball to right field. That is going to be deep enough to score Burns. Zara makes the catch. Burns comes down the line to score. Tagging at second is Reddick. He moves to third, and the A's have a 1-0 lead as Chris Davis drives in his 22nd run of the year with a sacrifice fly.
Davis got one pitch to hit, and that's the one that he did hit. Got underneath it. Hit it pretty well to right field, certainly far enough to get the sacrifice fly. That was the only pitch anything other than right on the edges.
So Davis with the sac fly. He's had that 1-0 lead. Here's Billy Butler, who popped out to short his first time at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Butler and Holland have a pretty good history against each other. 18 at bats now, and Butler with 5 hits in 18. He does have a home run. He's driven in 3 against Derek. Season average at .214. 1 ball and 1 strike.
It wasn't that long ago that Butler was one of the premier right-hand hitters in the American League. Go back to 2012. He had .313, 29 home runs, knocked in 100 runs. Pretty much the production's gone down ever since then. A's gave him a 3-year contract for somewhere around $30 million. They're counting on him to be a very productive middle-of-the-order guy. Last year, he hit .250 is all. Only hit 15 home runs, only knocked in 65 runs. This year, appears like he's being platooned, only playing against left-handed pitchers most of the time anyway.
And Butler always a guy that had certainly doubles power in Kansas City, and that's important for a right-handed hitter. Luke Jackson loosening in the Ranger bullpen. Butler had over 50 doubles one year, and at Kansas City ballpark with the deep alleys, you can see where a right-hander with the ability to hit the ball to right center could do that. But maybe the bat's slowing down a little bit, maybe trying to cheat a little too much on pitches. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Maybe being in a lineup other than the Kansas City's. Guys surrounding him might be different. Reddick down at third, Valencia at first. 2 outs, a run across here in the 4th. Again, Bobby Wilson needing to drop down to his shin guards to block that. Full count, so now Valencia will be off and moving with the next pitch. If he is able to extend this inning, Marcus Semien, power hitting shortstop, is in the on-deck circle. Holland ready, a check of first. Payoff pitch. We'll reset and try it again. 35 pitches already for Derek Holland in this inning. So more than doubling his total.
One thing Derek has had a harder time doing this year than in past years is getting swings and misses.
Ready for another 3-2. Base hit, left center field. In to score Reddick. Valencia stopping at second. The A's lead at 2-0 on Butler's RBI single. Yeah, Tom, you bring that point up as you see Butler really didn't hit that ball sharp. He got it off the end of the bat, but put it in a position where it couldn't be caught. And that's critical for a guy like Derek Holland. It forces him, I think, to pitch a little more defensively for the entire bat instead of being able to have the confidence to say, here, go ahead and swing at it. Here's what I got. He kind of pitches defensively and kind of works on the edges. And boy, unless you're pinpoint with all of your pitches, that's a tough way to make a living.
Yeah, he's struck out 13% of the batters this year. He's 19% in his career, so his strikeouts are down a little bit. Swings and misses between 16 and 17% of the times when a batter swings, they swing and miss. That's the smallest percentage on the staff. But there's times like in this at bat where you've got 2 strikes on Davis and the base is loaded. You'd love to have a pitch you could strike him out with.
So a 2-0 Oakland lead. Marcus Semien out on a nice play by his counterpart Elvis Andrus. as he led off the third inning. Changeup just off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes.
25 pitches to face Valencia, Davis, and Butler.
Throw down to second. And Valencia able to get back. A good throw by Bobby Wilson, but Valencia able to recognize it quickly enough to get back in. Almost one of those cases where Valencia sliding off the bag. If his hand didn't get there in time, Rougned Odor keeping that tag on him. But didn't see any daylight there, and time play held up while Jeff Bannister and company had that replay looked at. Said no, we're not gonna use a challenge on that. No, 1 ball and 1 strike. Right back to Holland. That will do it. But Oakland strikes for a couple. They get 2 runs on 2 hits and leave 2. After 4, it's the A's 2 and the Rangers nothing on Fox Sports Southwest. Take a look at tonight's greater coverage of baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. And this is Rangers coverage for you. Shin-Soo Choo hit a 3-run home run for Round Rock yesterday in his first rehab start. Been on the DL since April the 10th with that strained right calf. And Yu Darvish will make his 4th rehabilitation start tomorrow, pitching for Double-A Frisco as they play Midland. So far, Darvish, 9 innings of work, 3 hits, 2 runs, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts in his first 3 rehabilitation assignments. And it looks like Darvish, if he stays on schedule, will probably have 2 more rehab starts and then be fit to join the Rangers rotation if all works out well. Here's Ryan Rua, who doubled off the wall in deepest left center field his first time up. That one of 2 Ranger hits tonight, the other a leadoff single by Elvis Andrus in the 4th. Fastball right down the middle. 2 balls and a strike.
Minaya started 3 times for the A's. Once against Houston, once against Seattle. In both of those games, he went 5 innings and gave up 4 runs in each start. His changeup, his last start against the Red Sox, that was at Boston. 2 2/3, 10 hits and 8 runs in that game. So this is by far the best of his 4 starts with the A's.
The left-hander goes to the wind and misses high and tight. Oh, full count to Rua. Ryan trying to start this 5th inning off by getting aboard in front of Drew Stubbs. Minaya so far tonight has not walked a hitter. And the left-hander coming back with a payoff pitch. Valencia across the diamond, and Rua is retired, one away. Next will be Drew Stubbs.
Now batting, number 15, Drew
Stubbs back in the second inning, went down swinging. One of two strikeouts for Minaya tonight. Stubbs was 3 out of 7 on that just completed homestand. Pinch ran 3 different times. Along with that walk-off home run, he scored 3 runs and had a couple stolen bases. Pop foul, that'll go over the Ranger first base dugout, or right on top of it. Billy Butler, the first baseman, over there to take a look. About 95 feet from the first base bag and third base bag over to the camera bays right by the ends of the dugouts. A lot of foul territory here. The Oakland Raiders play their football games here, so this is a dual purpose stadium. Mount Davis out there in center field, as they call it. High and tight. 2 balls and a strike. Manaya's next pitch. 2-2. Well, you remember Drew signed a minor league contract with an invitation to spring training with the Rangers this year. Signed that contract on February 27th. Hit over 300 in 19 spring games, but then Rangers were going to send him to Round Rock, or ask if they could send him to Round Rock. He refused that assignment and signed with Atlanta, and got caught in a situation down in Atlanta where they were trying to change over, go to a youth movement, and they got caught in a numbers situation. They released him. Rangers re-signed him. Inside, ball 4. So Stubbs draws the walk. First walk issued by Minaya tonight. And it'll bring up Bobby Wilson.
Now batting, number 6, Bobby Wilson.
Wilson grounded out to third back in the 3rd inning. Bobby making his 8th start with the Rangers. An average now at .308.
The Rangers over the last week have been doing a great job coming from behind. They've been behind most of the games. Had some great rallies.
5 out of 6 games they have had come from behind victories.
Yeah. And one of the games they lost, they had a great come from behind to tie it, and then lost it in extra innings.
Foul back, no balls, 2 strikes. And that point we had in our a pregame discussion about the Ranger catchers, Brian Holiday and Bobby Wilson. .462 average for Holiday, .333 for Wilson. 3 home runs between the 2 of them, and 15 RBI. And you throw in the other 2 catchers that have seen time with Robinson Chirinos and Brett Nicholas. Got a pretty stout catching core as far as offensive output. And as you mentioned, Tom, they all are very good defensive catchers.
Yep, they've done a nice job. And hopefully Robinson Chirinos will be healthy and ready to come back soon. They'll have some excellent depth at that position.
A ball and 2 strikes. Wilson waiting. Two and 2. Able to lay off that changeup that time. Here's Robinson Chirinos on the trip with the ball club, doing a lot of catching bullpens before the ball game, and doing a lot of work in the batting cages. trying to get himself back to where he's ready to go out on a rehab assignment. Hard hit into the glove of Valencia for the out.
They've been staying away from Bobby. Everything was away. Some of them off the plate. Came in with that pitch, and Bobby drilled it. Unfortunately, went right straight at Valencia at third base.
Now batting, number 2, Hanser Alberto.
2 away. Here's Hanser Alberto. And Valencia. Ball looked like he had a little hook to it. He was making sure to keep it off his knees. Alberto, a foul pop-up in his own time at bat tonight. And a pretty good rip at that for strike 1. Alberto making his 7th start for the Rangers this year. He's had 3 starts at shortstop, 2 at second, 1 at first, and now 1 at third. Hit to left field, hit pretty well, but Crisp has a bead drawn on it, and that'll do it. Rangers hit a couple of balls sharply in the inning. Come up empty. They scram the walker, Drew Stubbs. Halfway through the ball game, the A's leading the Rangers 2-0 on Fox Sports Southwest.
Make sure to
Saturday with the return of baseball night in America. The battle for the Silver Boot continues. The Rangers take on the Astros starting at 6 o'clock on Fox, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. Matt McBride, the A's catcher, leading things off here in the 5th inning. A's on top 2-0. McBride reached on an error his first time up, the only error of the ball game. Good pitch by Holland in on the fist, and the count goes to 0-2. McBride doing more than just catching. He started at several different positions. His first time around with the A's this year. Started at first base, started in the outfield. Down at AAA Nashville. He had 12 games behind the plate, 6 in right field, 1 at first base. Just 175, but his ability to catch, and Josh Fegley, one of the A's catchers, banged up a little bit, so he was recalled. Matt McBride was recalled this past Friday. One and 2 as Holland reads the signs. To right field, Omar Mazara sauntering over to his left. Makes the catch. That is out number 1. And before Tyler Ladendorf comes up, we're going to send it back to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break.
Number 25, Tyler Ladendorf.
Thank you, Dana. 15-6. That sounds more like the Bengals and the Browns.
A lot of high-scoring games in the American League today, except for this one. 15-6, 13-2, 10-8.
Pitcher's taking a beating. Little tapper near the plate, but in foul territory as Bobby Wilson pounced on it. So Tyler Ladendorf still has life at no balls and 2 strikes. Ladendorf grounded into a double play that the Rangers turned to end the 3rd inning. Texas still leading the major leagues in twin killings. And call strike 3. There's a punch out for Derek.
Yep, good fastball.
First strikeout of the night. Ladendorf caught looking, and that's 2 gone in the 5th.
Now batting left fielder, number 4, Coco Chris.
Derek's had 7 0-2 counts in the game, and that was his first strikeout.
Back to the top of the order, Coco Crisp. Switch hitting outfielder takes ball 1. Crisp has popped out to second, flied out to center. Coming back this year after a miserable 2015 that injury bug bit him several different times. Only was able to get into 44 games, and a lot of those games were just pinch hitting assignments. He had a career low 175 in 2015. 2 balls and a strike. Right now, Crisp, over his last 16 games, has hit 295. And he pops this one to right center field. Mazzara and Ian Desmond. Desmond calling, and Mazzara backing out of the way. It's a 1-2-3 inning. First for Derek Holland since the 2nd. We played 5 in Oakland, 2-0 A's. By Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is $100 and dinner for 2 at Sonic Drive-In. If a Ranger hits a home run during this inning, Norma Starling from Avenger, Texas will win $100. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Norma's going to take home $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Top of the Ranger order, and Rougned Odor Shooting one deep but foul down the left side. It is 0-1.
That's the second ball that's been hit to that little guy. I think he missed the first one, and then he gets another one. The first one, I think, went off his glove. Someone got it and might have given it to him. I'm not sure. And then 15 minutes later, another one comes to him and he catches it.
And Rougned Odor is swinging on the next pitch. Skies out to Reddick and right for out number 1. And who says baseball doesn't even out quickly? You got one that you missed, came right back to him and got another one.
I think that was a little girl that got the one that bounced off his glove, and she gave it to him.
Now batting.
And that time he caught it and gave it back to her.
There you go. Very nice.
Dad says,
Make
I'm
a dad
proud
proud.
of you, son.
Yeah.
That's great.
You'd sit there looking like, what's everybody making a big deal out of it for? Here's Elvis, who is 1 for 2. Elvis hit a sharply hit ball off of the glove of the third baseman Danny Valencia last time up.
Too bad we didn't have Jim Knox with us. He'd be down there talking to that
He would.
guy.
Yeah. He'd be the fan of the game.
Yeah, he would.
Not a lot else to choose from, as a matter of fact, but that's all right.
Well, Knoxy could find somebody.
Elvis now the average at 291 as Manaya comes back to him. 2-1. Rangers have been pretty well silenced by the 24-year-old left-hander, Sean Manaea. Good changeup. Well, he has had that going. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
As we said earlier, he has not resembled the guy that pitched in the first 4 games.
Yeah. Out of Indiana State University.
Yeah, 12 2/3, 21 hits he'd given up. 16 runs. Whoa.
Little comeback fastball, got the inside corner. And Manaea got the call from the whole plate umpire, Gabe Morales. 2 gone.
Now batting, number 30.
Third strikeout for Manaea. And now Nomar Mazara will step in. Mazara in a pretty sharp line drive to left field for an out his last time. One strike to him. Rangers as a team have averaged 6.5 runs, better than 6.5 runs in the last 9 ball games. But give Sean Manaea some credit. Boy, he has really kept the Ranger hitters off balance. He's had very good command of the changeup. He's thrown enough fastballs with a little bit of giddy up on him. He's gotten the Ranger hitters off of his off-speed stuff. The 0-2 pitch to center field. Burns got a late start, coming on, dives and makes the catch. A great closing speed by Burns and a headlong dive, and that spells a 1-2-3 inning for the Rangers. A great catch by the center fielder Billy Burns. So we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It remains Oakland 2, Texas nothing. Fox Sports Southwest. It has been a quiet offensive night for both ball clubs. Oakland, though, able to put both their hits together with a hit by pitch and a walk to score a run. And now Billy Burns leading off, drops a single into right field. Well, Burns on for the second time tonight. He was hit by a pitch and scored the first run of the game for the Athletics back in the 4th inning. And he leads the 6th with a base hit to right.
Well, the A's have 3 hits in the game. None of them have been hit hard. Reddick hit a little blooper over second. This is a little blooper over second. The other hit was Billy Butler's soft line drive that he hit off the end of the bat. And there haven't been many outs that were hit hard either. The thing that hurt Derek in the 1 inning where he was in trouble, the 4th inning, hit by pitch and a walk. A couple of soft hits.
Here's Josh Reddick, who blooped that single in that Tom was talking about for the first hit of the night. 1 out of 2 this evening. 0-1. Reddick with the average at .319 currently. Derek Holland up to 87 pitches for the night. Again, that 4th inning, he skewed his pitch count toward the bad side of things. Double play ground ball to Odor. Andrews back to Rua. Second twin killing of the night. 4-6-3 on this one. And the bases are empty with 2 away. That is 56th double play turn by the Rangers this year.
Now batting third baseman, 26, Danny.
We'll take a look at our Ford leaderboard this year. Double plays turned in the major leagues. Texas, Detroit next closest, but they're 9 behind the Rangers. San Diego with 46, and then Arizona, and on down the line. The Rangers, good news, bad news. Good news is they've turned the double plays. Bad news is they've had to have people on that much to get it done, but that's okay. Yanni Valencia drew the walk, and he pounds one to center field. Moving back, Ian Desmond, and makes the catch as the ball dies right at the edge of the warning track. And that'll do it. No runs a hit, but the double play takes care of it. On to the 7th we go, 2-1 Oakland. For tonight's Ford game summary, and it's been all A's so far. Chris Davis lofted a fly ball to right for a sacrifice fly, plating Billy Burns for the first run, and then Billy Butler drove a soft line drive to left center field, driving home Josh Reddick, and that has been the sum total of the offense tonight. Oakland putting 2 of their 3 hits and a walk and a hit batter together for 2 runs in the 4th. Sean Manaea has been able to make that stand up as he goes to work here in the 7th inning. Middle third of the Ranger order. Beltre Desmond, and Rua, the first three to do the swinging. Adrian is flied out to right, flied out to left field tonight. 2 balls, no strikes. Rangers have had 3 base runners. Their 2 base hits and a walk. That has been it against Sean Manaea. Left-hander with his 84th pitch of the night. And Beltre takes a strike. Adrian's been a little bit up and down lately. He's hit in 7 of his last 8 ball games. Mostly of that about a 275 average on the just completed homestand. But you go back over the last 3.5 weeks of play, it's hitting just 218. The 2-2. Full count. Well, Beltre trying to get aboard to start his 7th inning for the Rangers. He'll be followed by Ian Desmond. About time for the Rangers to start one of those comebacks.
Yeah, it's not too early for it, that's for sure. Only 3 more innings left. Let's start it right now.
Tapped by the mound. Leidendorf has trouble getting it out of his glove and can't get enough on the throw to get Beltre. And Adrian, with blazing speed, able to beat that out.
Well, you know, when you hustle all the time, you don't tend to take a slow step out of the batter's box, and in that particular case, that's all he needed. Beat it by a hair at first base. That's the difference between Adrian and some other players. He runs fast every time.
Yep. And he will tell you that's all that is blinding speed. That's all there is to it. Now, Adrian, I think, still runs very well. He kids about it a lot. He doesn't think he runs all that well, but I'll disagree with him. So his first hit of the night, he is aboard with nobody out. Ian Desmond, a pop out and a strikeout tonight. Desmond, in his last 25 ball games, we'll take you back to about the 20th of April. And he's going to add to that as he shoots a single to left field. Solid base hit. Beltre checks in at second. So back-to-back base hits open up the Rangers' 7th. And it'll set things up for Ryan Rua.
The first time the Rangers have had 2 men on base in an inning.
Left-hander Sean Doolittle loosening in earnest.
Well, the A's do have a solid end of the bullpen. Doolittle used to be their closer. He pitches a lot in the 7th inning now. John Axford throwing 100 miles an hour is kind of their 8th inning guy. And Ryan Madsen has saved 10 ball games for the A's. So their 7th, 8th, and 9th inning bullpen pitchers have done a nice job for him.
Kurt Young, the pitching coach, out there for a brief visit to the mound. But while we have a second here, I'm going to remind you that the next post-game fireworks show is coming up Friday, May 27th. That follows the Rangers game against the Pirates. Fans using the online coupon code FIREWORKS get upper reserve tickets for just $14. Visit TexasRangers.com/specials and get your tickets for Friday Night Tradition with the Pirates in town on the 27th.
Number 16.
Well, here's Ryan Rua. Runners at first and second, nobody out. The A's playing the corner men up in expectation of a bunt. I don't think you're going to see Ryan Rua bunting.
I don't either.
Not in this situation. He has been swinging a hot bat. He has doubled tonight in 2 trips. And Billy Butler down there at first base and Danny Valencia at third. I think they're both wanting to back up just a little bit. As Ryan takes the first pitch down and in for ball 1. Both of them right now checking, the cornermen checking their insurance, their dental policies. Making sure they're fully covered for line drives to the teeth.
I hope they stay right there. It's just going to make it easier for Ryan to drive a ground ball by him.
Yep. Manaea back to the plate and hits the inside corner with a fastball.
If it hit the inside corner, it was a good pitch.
Ryan was a little skeptical.
Yeah, I don't
know
know
where that pitch was. Yeah.
Big difference between a 2-0 count and a 1-1 count in this situation.
Fastball. Cut at that high fastball, but Manaea still has a little giddy up there.
Hey, you see some of the swings, and then you look for the radar gun speed. You expect to see a higher number, but there's obviously some deception and being tough to pick up because the 92-mile-an-hour fastballs had the Rangers late a number of times.
A ball and 2 strikes to Rua. And a little late on that one, too. Ryan this year has fared very well against left-handers. Came into the ballgame 9 for 22, so now he's 10 for 24 against left-handed pitching. Got Beltre at second, Desmond at first. They're on the move. The pitch is chopped over the mound. And the only play that Manaea has is a low throw to first, and Butler comes up with it for the out.
I don't think he knew the runners were going. He looked to make a play on the bases and kind of panicked and got lucky at first base. Butler's not necessarily a deft fielding first baseman. Kind of looked for somewhere to throw, launched a ball in the dirt. Butler made a nice play. That ball could have gone down the right field line and completely turned this game around. That's a pretty nice pickup because that wasn't a short hop.
That's a very good pickup. So Butler flashing a little bit of leather, much to the detriment of the Rangers, but they do have the tying runs at second and third. Tying run at second. And 1 out. Drew Stubbs at the plate.
Well, they each had good jumps too. There's no way anyone was going to get thrown out on that play.
And Stubbs lofts a fly ball deep enough to right field where Beltre will tag. Reddick with a good arm makes the catch. The throw keeps Desmond at second base. Beltre crosses home plate. The Rangers have cut the lead in half now. It's a 2-1 Oakland lead with the tying run out at second still, and Bobby Wilson coming up. Drew Stubbs with his second RBI of the season.
Yeah, and that's one where Desmond probably could have made it to third base, but over the last couple of weeks there's been several plays where a runner has tried to take a base with 1 out, with 2 outs, and been thrown out before the run crossed home plate. They weren't taking any chances on that one.
And speaking of not taking any chances, they're not going to take any chances with Sean Manaea facing Bobby Wilson. Sean Doolittle coming on. Manaea out. Rangers cutting into the A's lead 2-1 now. We'll take a break. We're back right after this. Calendar now, May 28th, the first 15,000 fans 14 and older at Globe Life Park will get a Rangers beach towel courtesy of Powerade. Come on out and catch the Saturday night game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Pick up this summer giveaway. Call 972-RANGERS or visit TexasRangers.com for tickets. Sean Doolittle, the former closer for the Oakland A's, in there now, and he's dealing to Bobby Wilson with strike one. Doolittle in his 19th appearance, worked 14 2/3 innings this year. 16 strikeouts, 5 walks. League hitting just .218 against him.
He was hurt for most of last season. I think he disabled us a couple of different times. He's got a good arm. He's got a fastball in the mid-90s. Saved 22 games a while back for the A's.
He has not been scored upon in all but one of his last 12. And it's a foul ball back on the 0-2 pitch. Doolittle last worked on Friday night in Tampa Bay. Worked an inning, had a couple of strikeouts. If there's been any shortcoming for him, it's that he has allowed 4 of the 7 runners he has inherited to score. Ahead of the count to Bobby Wilson. No balls, 2 strikes. Got him swinging. Some high heat, and the Rangers' 7th comes to a close. They get a run on 2 hits, but leave 1. We'll take the stretch in Oakland. It's the A's 2, the Rangers 1. Coming schedule, and the next 2 games here in Oakland tomorrow night and Wednesday afternoon. An off day on Thursday. Rangers will then take on the Astros over the weekend, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon before coming back home to face the Angels and the Pirates in interleague play. Cleveland rounds out the May schedule as the Rangers visit Progressive Field. Well, Luke Jackson, the 24-year-old right-hander, now has come in to take over for Derek Holland. Holland worked the first 6 and leaves with 3 hits and 2 runs to his ledger. Luke Jackson, 13 games this year with AAA Round Rock. Got the call today as the Rangers optioned Tom Wilhelmsen to AAA. Jackson on, and Jackson, one of the guys like Andrew Faulkner, who converted last year to the bullpen. Both Faulkner and Jackson had been starters, groomed as starters in the minor leagues. Last year made the switch. Broken bat grounder. And Hanser Alberto handles that for out number 1 as Chris Davis is now 0 for 2.
Yeah, it was a solid outing for Derek. He pitched 6 innings. He had 1 long inning. That was the 4th inning. Gave up 3 hits. None of them were hit hard. None of the outs were hit hard. Really didn't give up a hard hit ball. He had a hit by pitch that started the rally in the fourth, a walk in the middle of it. Other than that, all the innings were pretty quick innings. So overall, solid outing. Rangers just have had a hard time against Sean Manaea in the ball game. Rangers were having a normal offensive game. Derek's game would look a lot better.
Billy Butler, 1 out of 2. He drove in the second Oakland run in that fourth inning. Oh, nice backhanded pickup by Hanser Alberto. Makes it look easy down there picking that thing. 2 up, 2 away. Alberto handling both of those before Marcus Semien comes up. We're going to send it back to Dana Larson for a Chevy game break.
Now batting shortstop, number 10, Marcus Semien.
All right, Dana, thank you. Here's Marcus Semien. 1 ball and no strikes. Semien tonight has grounded out twice. Once back to the mound, once to shortstop. Facing Luke Jackson, a 6'2" right-hander from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. High down the right field line, peeling off into foul territory and just over the Ranger bullpen. Bullpens down either line, as you can see, not really formal affairs. They do have a couple of mounds and a couple of home plates, but other than that, it's a fairly stark existence down there for the bullpen men.
That probably puts you in as close proximity to the fans as anywhere. You're close in Seattle too, but there's a chain link fence between you and the fans.
Not a whole lot here separating fans from players.
You got that little roof and that's about it.
Now the 1-2. Hit well to center field. Desmond going back. He is at the wall, leaps up, and that ball is gone. Marcus Semien puts a charge in his 10th home run of the year, and it is a 3-1 Oakland lead.
Well, Semien got off to a terrible start. After 17 games, he was hitting 145. He's not a big guy. He's wiry. Hit some home runs in the minor leagues, and if you can hit this ball out of the ballpark, it's a high fastball, good location, but he hit it high to dead center field. There's a lot of guys who have hit balls similarly, and they end up on the warning track. So he's got some power, as I guess 10 home runs would show.
So the A's get the run back that the Rangers scored in the top, excuse me, in the top of the 7th. And now Matt McBride, a towering pop-up in shallow right center. Desmond calling off Odor, and Ian makes the catch on the run, and that'll do it. But Marcus Semien with his 10th home run of the year gives the A's another run. 3-1 Oakland as we go to the 8th. Jake Diekman and Rangers captain at the Whataburger. They'll be on the Whataburger on Sycamore School Road on May 24th. Don't miss this chance to win great prizes and meet one of your Texas Rangers at Whataburger. Just visit TexasRangers.com/appearances. You can get more information. Now we go to the top of the 8th inning. And the veteran right-hander reliever John Axford, 31-year-old. That 33-year-old. Canadian-born John Axford on now, and Axford has been around. He signed a 1-year contract with the A's this past offseason. Last year pitched in Colorado, appeared in 60 ball games for the Rockies. Also spent time in Pittsburgh and Cleveland, St. Louis, Milwaukee. And he's now toiling for the A's as he deals ball one. Yonder Alonso has come into the ball game to take over defensively at first base, in place of Billy Butler. Hanser Alberto 0 for 2 tonight, leading off here the Ranger 8th inning. They trail now by 2 once again, 3-1. Hanser has popped out and flied out this evening.
Axford throws hard. His fastball is above 95 miles an hour usually. He threw a ball 100 miles an hour the other day. The way Sean Doolittle was throwing, I'm disappointed to see him out of the game.
95 right in the middle, 2-1. Yeah, the A's bullpen has not been much of a problem for them. And getting to that bullpen with the game intact has been. The starting rotation has really struggled for Oakland. You wouldn't know that tonight by the way that Sean Manaea pitched. This is the first time, or just the second time in the last 10 games that they've had a starter go more than 5 innings. 2-2 to Hanser Alberto. Got him swinging.
Came back with the same pitch, up and in.
Well, Hanser down on strikes, 1 away for the top of the order now on Rougned Odor.
Now, for a guy throwing hard, that's a tough location for a hitter. The key is they're not strikes, so if you can take them, you'll have them called balls. But if you swing at them, you're going to have a hard time making much contact when it's going 98 miles an hour up there.
Is that the hardest location for a hitter to lay off of, you think?
Personally, it was harder for me to lay off a high fastball than a low fastball.
Yeah.
I don't know what other hitters would say. That particular pitch wasn't hard because I just knew I didn't have any chance to. It never felt like a pitch I could hit anyway, so I didn't really swing at that. There was ones up and out over the plate that I would chase occasionally.
Odor chopping that pitch foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. The reason I asked you, it seems that a lot of guys that can't handle a high fastball. Very few guys can, let's put it that way, but most guys that aren't very good hitters just cannot lay off that pitch. It looks good or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a hard pitch to do much damage with up there.
And yet, really good hitters can lay off of it.
Yeah. And probably only a handful of hitters can handle it.
Odor handles that pitch, but pulls it foul down the right side. It had plenty of depth, but a little too much hook to it. 1-2. Well, if anybody could handle a pitch like that, it'd be Odor. If it's a fastball, he's going to have a pretty good hack at it no matter where it is. Rougned tonight 0 for 3, a couple of flyouts, and out on a very nice play by the second baseman, Tyler Ladendorf. Rangers 4 hits tonight. There's Ladendorf. The hits this evening are even at 4. But Oakland has made the most of theirs. Axford back to the plate. Alonso to the bat. 2 gone. Well, folks, follow Rangers baseball live with MLB.com at Bat app. You can stay up to the moment at any moment with Game Day, live game video highlights, StatCast, news, and a lot more. Download MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone or tablet. 2 up, 2 away here for the Rangers, and Elvis Andrus, who has one of the 4 Ranger base hits, steps to the plate. Elvis' single came back in the 4th inning, and the Rangers, that was a leadoff single. The Rangers not able to advance him any further. Elvis, 2 out of 3 in previous matchups with Axford. Got that big breaking ball, as you see it go along with the fastball. It's a pretty good 1-2 combination. McBride wants that fastball away, and Axford complies. 2 balls and a strike. Little jackknife out of the way. Elvis Andrus avoiding that inside fastball. 3-1. If Elvis is able to extend this inning, Nomar Mazara, the Ranger right fielder, is in the on-deck circle. Pitch on the way. Outside, ball 4. Elvis draws the walk. Well, Axford with a strikeout, a ground out, and now a walk. And just like
Now
that,
ready.
bringing the tying run to the plate. Our AT&T high-speed internet replay for you tonight. Billy Burns got a little bit of a late start against Nomar Mazara in the 6th inning, but made a fantastic diving play. And Billy Burns, our AT&T high-speed replay star this evening. Big curveball, and it's low for ball 1.
Axford had only walked 2 in 16 innings. That's not a very good walk right there with 2 outs, nobody on. Guy without much power at the plate. You want to make him hit the ball. Now you put a man on base in a 2-run game, but middle of the order guy is coming up. Could be a little problematic for you. Hopefully it will be.
I think that might have gone back to that matchup deal we were talking about. 2 for 3 was Elvis before that at bat. I think that sometimes that sticks in a pitcher's head. It may not. The situation.
Well, he threw him 2 curveballs to start him off
exactly.
with, after all fastballs to everybody else.
Yeah.
That'd be one thing if both hits were home runs.
Well, pitchers aren't. You don't have to be a Phi Beta Kappa.
They're just going for hits, huh? I would not have predicted that Marcus Semien would hit a ball 410 feet
I wouldn't either.
center field tonight.
Apparently, he's done it a few times this year.
Strong kid. I didn't realize he had that kind of power. I knew he hit some home runs in the minor leagues.
2-0 the count to Mazara. Trying to take it the other way. And the shortstop Semien throws and just does get him. Well, that'll do it. Rangers get a 2-out walk, but Strander runner. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning here in Oakland. It's the A's 3, the Rangers 1 on Fox Sports Southwest. I'd like to remind you, we're right back here at the Coliseum tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Central Time. It'll be Adrian Beltre and the Rangers taking on these Oakland A's in Game 2. Right now, Luke Jackson taking on Tyler Ladendorf to start off the bottom of the 8th. Ladendorf 0 for 2, a double play grounder and a strikeout. That pitching matchup, by the way, tomorrow night, Cole Hamels and Eric Surkamp. Pair of left-handers. Hamels at 4-0 with a 295. He has that streak going, that personal best, career best, 11 decision winning streak going. Try to extend that tomorrow. There is Cole Hamels. Jackson missing high and outside. 3 balls and a strike now. Ladendorf, the number 9 hitter, leading off the 8th inning. Coco Crisp, and the top of the order will be next. Hit pretty well, but Stubbs over in the alley in left center. 1 gone. Ladendorf, not Marcus Semien.
No, he's not. Semien did hit 15 home runs last year.
Now batting left fielder, number 4, Coco.
I don't know how many he hit at night. 405 feet to dead center.
Yeah, that's what surprised me.
Yeah.
1 away. Here's Coco Crisp for his 4th at bat. Crisp has flied out twice to center and popped out to second base. Jackson missing down and away for ball 1. Crisp, a .235 average for the season. In case you missed it earlier when Luke came into the ballgame, Luke Jackson called up today from AAA Round Rock. Tom Wilhelmsen optioned to the Express. Jeff Anderson talking about before the game, but it's time for Tom Wilhelmsen to have the opportunity to get himself back together. Felt at the big league level there just hadn't been enough games to allow him to get in situations where he could do that comfortably. And the combination fastball breaking ball just wasn't quite as crisp as it needed to be for Tom. High and outside, 3 balls and a strike. Crisp batting in the leadoff spot. Billy Burns to follow. Crisp pops it foul. That'll be back into the seats, and it fills the count. Luke Jackson coming up last year worked in 7 ball games for the Rangers, all out of the bullpen. 6 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs in those outings. Payoff pitch coming to Crisp. Just missed, a little bit low apparently, and Crisp is aboard with a 1-out walk. Time to take a look at our Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and it was an Oakland A and Marcus Semien off of Luke Jackson last inning, dead center field. Leaping Ian Desmond not able to come down with it, and that is the 10th home run of the year for Marcus Semien, and it was a blast. Jimmy John's delivery of the game, and Semien delivered that pretty nicely to center field.
As long as we're talking about Marcus Semien, we ought to mention as well that last year he made 35 errors. Ron Washington came over during the season and was working with him defensively, and he made a lot of progress toward the end of the year. This year, in about 35 games, he's only made 2 errors, so he's a much improved player. There's Wash. Wash is looking trim, boy.
Yes, he is. Out here this afternoon, as always, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, working with, today it was Ladendorf and Semien. Ground ball after ground ball and doing the teaching that he loves so much. A 1 on, 1 out. Here's Burns. Takes a strike. It's funny you mentioned Simeon cutting down on the errors. Rest of the A's can't say the same thing. They're leading the world in errors. They've committed 28 of them this year. That's the most in baseball.
Well, Valencia's only played in 20 games. He's made 6 of them at third base.
Yeah.
Jed Lowry's on the disabled list. He's made 6. There's, I guess, the 2 main culprits.
Yep. Billy Burns, a walk. He also reached, he was hit by a pitch. 1 out of 2 officially. Luke Jackson paying close attention to Coco Crisp at first. Like to keep this a 2-run game and make a comeback more manageable in the 9th inning. Luke Jackson firing it up there, and Billy Burns fouling it back.
Yeah, Burns is one of those guys that doesn't walk, doesn't strike out. Got some great hand-eye coordination as far as making contact with the ball. And not too concerned about where it is to swing at it either.
Knocked him off the plate a bit with that inside fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Luke originally Rangers supplemental round pick, 54th or 45th, excuse me, overall in the 2010 draft by the Rangers. Jackson okays the sign. The right-hander ready one more time. Pitch out, nothing going from Coco Crisp. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mike Andretti, the first base coach, keeping an eye as Crisp steps off that lead. Three and 2. Well, Burns, working the count, has worked it full now. He is the number 2 hitter. Josh Reddick, 3rd place hitters in the on-deck circle. And you would think with 1 out that Coco Crisp would have a green light to run here. He's staying put, and the pitch foul back. And walking back to the bag, Coco Crisp shaking his head. Maybe he's trying to get a jump and couldn't do it.
Yeah, and you know, with this guy at the plate, you really don't need much of a jump because he's probably not going to strike out.
Luke Jackson okays the sign. The right-hander's ready. Crisp on the move. Pitch swung on and missed.
Like
the throw to second.
Like I said, Buzz, he's probably not going to strike out.
Strike him out, throw him out, double play. And Bobby Wilson nailed Coco Crisp. Side retired, nothing going for the A's. 9th inning coming up. Rangers trail by 2. The ninth inning, and here's the A's closer coming on. That would be Ryan Madson. Madson, 9 saves to his, or make that 10 saves to his credit in 10 opportunities this year. ERA of just north of 1.08. League hitting just .213 against Madson. Last year really came into his own with Kansas City. Did an excellent job, 68 appearances with the Royals. And a .213 ERA. Originally with Philadelphia, now toiling over here with the A's, and Adrian Beltre looks at strike one. Madson signed by the A's this past December as he took his free agency. Beltre 1 for 3 tonight. A ball and a strike. Madson, a big guy at 6'6", listed at 225 pounds. He's a 35-year-old. Semien gobbles that ground ball up, throws out Beltre, 1 away. Adrian hit that right off the end of the bat. He is retired. Now here comes Ian Desmond.
Now batting, number 20, Ian Desmond.
Desmond 1 for 3. He had a sharply hit single to left field his last time up. Ian, from his days in the National League, had 3 hits in 10 times to the plate against Madson. Madson 3 times in his career appeared in over 70 ball games for Philadelphia. Check swing, foul tip, and that evens the count, and a ball and a strike.
He gets some great movement on his fastball. Tails down and in to a right-hand hitter. Good velocity on it too. 94 miles an hour. Had a nice year for Kansas City last year. The A's aren't in contention. He'll be one of those guys that could be in demand after around the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Team's looking for bullpen help at the end of the game.
Desmond trying to take it the other way. Ladendorf, though, a nice play going to his left. And throws out Desmond. There are 2 gone.
Haven't had to see him do much to his right, but he's definitely proven he can go to his left. Very quick. And accurate with his strong arm, too.
Ryan Rua.
Oh, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Rangers still trailing 3-1. Ryan Rua will try to keep things going here in the 9th inning. He is 1 for 3 tonight. One ball and no strikes. Rua has not faced Madson before. Pitch got by Matt McBride.
That's pretty good movement on it. Couldn't even catch it.
2-0. And Mitch Moreland has grabbed a bat, come into the on-deck circle. A guy who loves hitting in this ballpark. If Ryan can get aboard, Moreland would represent the tying run in this game. 2 balls and a strike now. That's the 4th pitcher used tonight by Bob Melvin. 2-2.
Tough pitch.
The next pitch got him swinging by Madson. With a little help, works a 1-2-3 9th inning, and the Rangers' 2-game winning streak is a thing of the past. A's win this by a score of 3-1. Marcus Semien, an insurance run with his 10th home run of the game. That was back in the 7th inning. So 3-1. the final as Ryan Madson gets his 11th save of the year. Ryan Rua going down on strikes. The A's shaking hands, walking off with the victory here at home. Just their 6th win at home in 17 ball games. We'll be back to the Coliseum with more right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.